to the latest and greatest episode of the Lobot Podcast. I'm Tyler.
I'm Josh.
And we are back at the Bachelor Pad. We are back at the Trap House. We are back at the...
Crack Den, baby.
We are back at the Crack Den. This is the best looking Crack Den I've ever seen.
Yeah, so the lighting, a little bit different.
Yeah, it should be a bit better. You rearranged the room a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
And I like it this way.
Yeah, thank you.
It feels a bit more open, feels a bit more daylight. It just feels lovely. We're looking out the window. What a lovely sight.
Disregard the mess right now.
Disregard the mess. No one else can see that. So there is no mess, everyone. It's a lovely, clean room.
Very clean crack house.
It's the cleanest crack house you've ever seen.
Look, to be fair,
that should
though,
be the tagline.
to be fair,
If you invite people over, hey, this is the cleanest crack house you've ever seen.
I don't know if you've ever been to a crack house before, but I have. And there is not as much daylight in there. So this is
Look,
the
I
brightest.
don't doubt it. You know what? I've never been to a crack
They're
house.
like vampires.
Yeah.
They hate the sunlight. Something about crack and sunlight just don't mix.
Anyway, how you been, brother?
Good, man. I've been good. It's been a rough week at work. I've been doing
sick.
so much overtime, but I feel good because you made some delicious pies.
Yes, brought some food over.
Yeah.
I'm excited to eat. So let's get into this.
Let's get it.
Let's get into the first topic I had in my notes, and it's a match I watched earlier this week. The Battle of New York. The Knicks versus the Nets. Did you watch this game?
No, I did not.
What a fucking game.
No, I'm kidding. I did. Of course. I love it when Brooklyn play the Knicks because I feel like we get the best showing of the Knicks
100%.
for whatever reason.
For whatever reason, it brings it out.
Like, it feels like it, right? Like, it seems that you agree that when the Knicks play Brooklyn, the Knicks, this is their game that they have to win for whatever reason.
And despite it being a Nets home game, there was more Knicks fans, which, there is more Knicks fans than Nets fans because they're an older team, they're a classic, whatever. But yeah, Knicks really step it up when they play the Nets, which is interesting because they're historically, I think it's like 101, 102 Nets way. Like, it's so close between them historically, but wow, what a fucking game.
It's insane. I love it.
Sometimes you see these like legendary duels. This one didn't feel like a legendary duel, but fuck, KD and Randle just went at each other's throats constantly. And like, I know Randle and Tibbs were talking about foul calls and all that, but nah, that was just a good game of basketball.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we're not going to remember any of this for the foul calls.
No, 100% not.
It's going to be about the beautiful game of basketball that these two teams always play. We have got a phenomenal game of KD every game this season, except when he plays Draymond. And then Julius Randle this year has shown that he deserves to be not only an all-star, but a potential candidate for All-NBA if he keeps playing certain games the way he does.
I could see him being All-NBA second team, All-NBA third.
Yeah, second or third.
Easily, yeah,
absolutely.
He's looking so good.
And then you've just... James Harden is no longer lost.
I mean, that game against the Knicks, he had like 5 turnovers. But wow, he had a comeback game a few days later.
But yeah, like the fact that he's back and the fact that Fournier is just clicking for the Knicks, like so many of these other pieces which... You're kind of like, these really need to work in order for this team to be successful. They're now working.
Yeah.
And that's when these teams match up. You know, they've got that rivalry just because it's New York and Brooklyn. And it's just always so fun to watch. Was this the game where Derrick Rose was out as well?
No, I'm pretty sure Derrick Rose was in this game.
Okay. I'm thinking of a different
You're
game.
thinking of a different one.
Sorry.
But it's just something about the New York matchup. You can feel it. You can see the intensity. You can see it in the fans. It made me really want a series, like a 7-game series, Knicks versus Nets.
And I think it's crazy because, in my opinion, I don't see the Nets having the personality where they need to kill every other team that they come across. There are certain teams that do. You know, Phoenix isn't really one of them. They're a phenomenal freaking team.
We'll get to them. We need
Top
to talk
team.
about them.
But to me, they don't have that persona where they want to murder the other team. Brooklyn are the same thing. I don't see that. Whereas New York, I do see that. Whether they're good or not, you know, that's up for debate because they're just hovering above 500, if I remember correctly.
But they look like they do want to kill certain teams, and Brooklyn is one of them. The team that they want to kill for whatever reason. And we just get the best showing. The Knicks fans love it, regardless if it's a home game or not.
It's all in New York anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can't imagine the fans in a series, like a 7-game series.
So yeah, say playoffs, because they very well may.
This could happen a 1 and 8, because the 1 seed and I think the 8th seed, right? So this very well could happen.
Do you envision it as like a Laker playoff series of the past where, regardless if it's a home or away, it's a Lakers home game?
No, I feel like it's gonna be 50-50. Unless it's a Knicks home game, then it's gonna be 70-30. You know what I mean? If it's Nets, it's gonna be 50-50.
Yep, I agree with that. Yeah,
but if it's Knicks, it's gonna be 7-30. There's gonna be a lot of orange and blue in the stands.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
But I want that series.
It's gonna be so crazy. Do you anticipate Julius Randle to struggle again this postseason? Because his shooting splits last postseason were quite horrendous, in all honesty.
They weren't good. He really did struggle.
A lot of turnovers. And honestly, his play style hasn't changed too much.
It hasn't, but I feel like the team's got better personnel now.
Yep.
You know, things aren't working with Kemba. Fair enough. That's fine. But Evan Fournier is a great player. And when he gets in his stride, I feel like he'll be a great addition, take some of that weight off Randle.
He's so damn good. I love Fournier. He's been one of the reasons they've closed out so many games because of the games he's had. One of my concerns with Randle is the fact that he hasn't changed his game. I know he's got other personnel, but he's not a passer. He's not a big that passes. You know, he's not Jokic. He's not your Draymond. He's not horrible. He kind of reminds me of Valanciunas.
He's above average.
He's above average, but you don't have spot up shooters on the team.
Yeah.
Which you can kind of get away with being an above average big man that can pass out of the post. If you have spot up shooters like, you know, Danny Green, things like that, and they don't have that. Whilst they do have shooters, you know, percentage-wise, they do have good shooters. A lot of them feel a bit more on ball off the dribble.
Yeah,
I'm
with you.
Off
Fournier,
the dribble.
yeah,
RJ Barrett's off the dribble.
I want to see them ditch Kemba, trade him to get a spot-up shooter.
I've heard he's in trade talks currently. It's so sad to see his decline because he really was like a certified all-star in Charlotte. He was so damn good.
Yeah.
And then the moment he went to Boston, it could tell it just wasn't clicking. And I feel like we spoke about this when he was traded to Boston. It was like, man, I hope this works. Like, is Charlotte was his greatness in Charlotte just because it's Charlotte?
Yeah.
Because every team he's played for since has been a good team.
Yeah, and he hasn't played well.
He hasn't shown up. Like, he's had like a couple games, but you know who else has a couple good games every now and then? Alec Burks, who's been killing it.
Yeah.
But like that's...
Is it empty stats?
Yeah, and that's sadly, that's what it feels like. And I know he's had injury issues, but we've seen like Derrick Rose has been more consistent.
Yeah.
And we know what that man's been through. And I hate to compare the two, but Kemba Walker, you know what it feels like?
Well, go ahead.
Remember when Carmelo Anthony first went to OKC?
Yeah.
It was like the big three.
Yeah.
And then later that year, it was very evident that it wasn't going to be a big three. I think Kemba's now the guy that they can realize he's not going to be a part of your big rotation.
Do you think for Kemba, it was the stars aligned in Charlotte? Similar to Isaiah Thomas in Boston, it was like the stars aligned for a bit. Yeah. And then now they've unaligned. And it sucks, but you had that chance. You were there.
Yeah, I genuinely think it was their bodies physically before injuries started coming along.
And I do think it is, you know, stats-wise, you get a lot more going when you are allowed to just have the ball 24/7.
Yeah.
You know?
You feel the rhythm.
Yeah, and I don't want to, you know, diminish what Isaiah Thomas has accomplished.
No,
because
absolutely not.
A Celtic great with what he's done.
If you look at those years where he was the best, they speak for themselves.
Oh my gosh.
Like third in MVP voting, I believe it was.
Yeah.
A dude that's 5'8", that's ridiculous. And what Kemba accomplished in Charlotte, I believe he made one playoff
Yep, they made the playoffs once, yep.
Which is really good considering
he's an all-star.
How you look at those teams back then.
Yeah.
But I think it's safe to say at this point that Kemba's not a guy that is guaranteed a starting spot anymore.
No, it doesn't seem like it. And it sucks. We don't know the exact reason. You know, we can speculate, but what? I don't know.
The weird thing about this situation is for New York specifically, because they're the one with Kemba and his contract, I don't feel worried. Usually if you get someone like Kemba Walker in the terms of, you know, max contract that can't really play very well anymore, usually that worries you a little bit when you're eyeing the playoffs.
And making a deep run in the playoffs at that.
but I feel fine. You know, Quickly is so good.
Oh, he's so good.
Fournier is so good. Derrick Rose is so good. They're 3 men deep in the guard position.
Yeah, I'm not
not
concerned
worried.
for their guard depth right now.
Yeah.
They could trade him and pick up like a spot up shooter here or there if they can get one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it would really help them, which I want them to do. I think they need to move on. You know, like they didn't give Kemba Walker much time. You know, it's his first season there, but it clearly hasn't worked so far.
No, it's not. And
There's only so much time you can give it because
Yeah.
you're gunning now. This isn't rebuild mode.
Yeah,
where
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, oh, next year we'll go for it. We're doing it right now.
I don't want to cut Kemba off as a player. Maybe he moves to a different team. Maybe it's the coach. Maybe it's the team, and it just doesn't work for him. Maybe the stars realign again on some other team, but it's not working now. It's clearly not working in New York.
it's not. And I think he needs to, from just looking at him play, it feels like he needs to start embracing that bench role. And I'm not saying he's against it. For everything that I've seen, Kemba's a great teammate.
Yeah, he seems
Lovely
like a
dude.
lovely guy.
Yep. Always going to support you. Never doesn't look like the kind that's going to growl at you and bark at you. And I love that about Kemba. But I don't know how much of his play is tailored towards the bench. You know, and that's a thing that it's easier said than done. you
Yeah,
know?
it is. Like Melo struggled with it for a long, long time. But if you can embrace a spark plug role, you can turn your career around. Jordan Clarkson, Lou Will, Manu Ginobili embraced it more than anyone has ever. Did I say Jordan Clarkson just before?
Yeah, yeah. And
Jamal Crawford.
Jordan Clarkson and Jamal Crawford are probably the two come to mind for me because Kemba's skill set is very, very good. He's still quickish, you know, after the injuries, he's slowed down a little bit, but he's still got a great shot. He's still quick. He can still
His
pass.
step back.
Yeah, it's deadly.
Yeah.
And that's really good. If you have a guy coming off the bench that can do that, it's very Jordan Clarkson.
JC is so valuable right
and you
now.
don't need to play defense.
Yeah, yeah,
So I feel like that's kind of where his career's going, unfortunately. You know, I would have loved to see Kemba really light up Boston. You know, and it's like, oh shit, you know, this Charlotte thing was real and Boston got him. Boston, yeah, it didn't work out for Kyrie, it didn't work out for Kemba. It's not going to work out for the next point guard. You know, there's something
Who do
about
they have? Who's their current point guard?
they don't have one. Marcus
Oh,
Smart
yeah, Marcus
is their
Smart's
point
playing the
guard,
point.
and that's not a point guard.
Look, we'll get into Boston another time. We've gotten into it before, we'll get into BM. But yeah, look, I can hope it comes back for Kemba. I hope he, you know, changes up. Maybe it's a mentality thing. I don't know.
The one thing that I'm very happy with New York, because there's only so much I can talk about with Brooklyn to me, because KD is just a damn good player. He's a damn great player. And James Harden's found his rhythm. When you got those two, you don't need Kyrie. Those two are deadly as it is, whether you like the way they play or not. And you've got really good role players.
If they can keep it,
You know?
if they can line up, they're a great team.
Yep.
They're phenomenal. Hard to beat. Still a fantastic offense.
With New York, obviously, the pieces aren't as great. You don't have your KD. You don't have a James Harden. You've got a Julius Randle, who people still question, which I don't agree with. But then you've got RJ Barrett's an interesting one for me.
He's still a bit green.
Still a bit green, but hyper efficient.
Yes.
He's a really good shooter and doesn't look like it, which I don't think he doesn't get enough appreciation. And someone said this like a few weeks ago, probably a month ago, and it really stuck with me. Whenever I watch
New York basketball and it was more tailored towards RJ Barrett, where the team doesn't feel like it's built to be ran through one person. I know Julius Randle is their go-to guy, but you're going to have situations where, you know, RJ Barrett can go off for 20 to 30 points, and you wouldn't be surprised because the offense is allowed to flow through him that night.
It's Tibbs' offense.
And, you know, Derrick Rose can go off for one night, quickly can go off for one night. And I think, unlike Brooklyn, you know, if they're going in a series, you know there are two dudes going off.
Yeah.
It's James Harden.
They're the guys who are going to score 35 each.
And if you go against New York, it's a situation, if it's a 7-game series, okay, they're going to try run it through Julius Randle. If that doesn't work, next game, they've got other options.
Yeah.
And whilst those options aren't as great as KD and James Harden, the fact that you have options at any point bodes really well for a playoff run.
It's like Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I've got 6 arms. I can punch you with all of them.
Yeah, and the scariest thing about Atlanta is they've got one of the best passes in the league, so he can really get guys going.
And get guys going who can just need to cut and get in rhythm that way. 100%. Like it's Tibbs coaching. We've praised Tibbs forever. Tibbs is a fucking winner.
Yeah, he just wins, man. I can't. I'm not slandering that man ever.
Never.
I don't care.
He's a fucking winner.
You want to run you guys into the ground? I don't care. You're winning.
Yeah.
I don't care. Do what you want, Tibbs.
Yeah. I don't know why Tibbs gets slandered. He's never been a losing coach. He has such a positive win-loss record.
Yeah, no, he's so
It's
damn
fucking
good.
wild.
And the fact, like, I don't care what anyone says. Like, I've always loved these shitty New York teams.
You have.
But the fact that he got this team to the playoffs is still wild to me. You look at this team on paper. I'm like, I still don't know how
Maybe a
this
ninth,
happened.
like maybe a 9th seed, maybe an 8th seed.
Maybe play in, but
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
they made the actual playoffs.
Yeah.
And that's just bonkers to me.
That's just Tibbs.
Tibbs does Tibbs things, and he deserves appreciation. RJ Barrett deserves appreciation because it's more, it's just a flow offense. It's whoever's feeling it, whatever's going to click for the team. That's why Alec Burks and these kind of situations go off. You see these guys which are usually second string, they just go off on certain games because the team allows them to do so.
And New York is absolutely equipped with that, and they've embraced that.
100%.
It's not just going to be Julius Randle. It's going to be any one of these, 7 guys.
100%. And they play defense too, because they're a Tibbs basketball team.
So such bully ball on defense.
Yeah,
and I love
especially Randall. Like, he's a great man-on-man defender. Yes, he had to guard KD for a lot of that night. And that's a fucking tough cover. He did a great job.
There was that one game recently. It was like either last game or the game before. There was someone had the pick and roll, and the guard rolled around the right to go to the basket, and Julius Randle instantly just dropped back, was just moving side to side really quickly for a big man, and ended up just denying the ball.
Because he
shot.
moves like a wing.
It's so good to see.
He's like, the term tweener used to be a death term? Like, if someone's a tweener, they can't play a small forward, they can't play a power forward, there's somewhere in the middle, they're not going to make it in the league, right? They can't play power forward, they can't play center, there's somewhere in the middle. It used to be like, oh, you're a tweener, you're between roles.
A lot of these players have hybrid roles. You can play them, at 2-3-4 or 1-2-3. And the roles drastically change depending on what position they play. Whereas I feel like when we first started following the league, big men had to be big men.
Yeah.
A shooting guard had to shoot. A point guard had to pass. And there are specific roles that a player had. Even the two-way wasn't as big back then right at the start as it was now. Now you're allowed to shoot as many threes as you want if you're good at it, as long as you play defense.
Yeah.
Whereas back then it felt like if you were a Tony Allen, you're Tony Allen.
Yeah.
That's what we want. If you're a Ben Wallace, you're a Ben Wallace. We don't need you scoring at all. And we see guys now that really kind of shift between multiple roles. And that's why I think we're seeing, like, Draymond is such an oddity because of that.
Draymond is the poster child for tweener. And he said this on a podcast. I don't remember whose podcast it on, but coming into the league, he got the tweener label. He's like, I need to fucking break that.
Yeah.
He's like, I need to just prove that I'm too good. Regardless of what label they give me, I'm too good not to play.
Yeah.
And, like, you're right. The league has changed so much. The roles have changed, and the spaces between those roles have changed.
I texted Adam this one time, just touching on Draymond. You ever have like those hot takes, very early on before they're drafted, and they're like, "That's the one."
Yeah.
For whatever reason, just because he's a Michigan kid, I saw
Yeah.
him play. He was a stocky dude, and I looked at him in Michigan, and I'm like, "You're going to be an all-star." And he was under recruited. He was a second round pick. And I don't know what, but this is the thing. Like, I'm never going to have a better hot take
Than
saying Draymond's going to be an all-star.
Yeah.
He's a freaking Hall of Famer now.
Yeah, he absolutely is.
Yeah. Like,
Also, he's my pick for Defensive Player of the Year this year.
yeah. I think I agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm going to be, I'm excited for when we do these awards because I think they're going to be a bit different.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. I have a feeling because, like, Kawhi is out, LeBron's kind of out all the time.
That's true. That's true.
A lot of different players. Milwaukee aren't as great as they usually are in the regular season.
They're just about 500.
Oh, they are not playing very well.
Yeah.
They are not. And I don't know what's up with that.
It's Grayson Allen. He's not a winner.
Don't give me that. But, like, I guess quickly just touching on Milwaukee, do you actually know what the issue is?
No.
Because I don't. Because
Well, Middleton was out for a bit, but he's back now.
Middleton was out.
Yeah.
But then they got phenomenal production from Grayson Allen. And I know you don't like Grayson Allen, but he filled that role while he was gone. It was like Middleton never left. And obviously, no, it felt like that. It felt like that. And I don't know why they're losing. Maybe Bud has really just gone all the way the opposite to how he used to be. It's like, I'm really just gonna. No, this is ultimate
the tank
Bud.
commander.
Yeah, like he's potentially resting these guys just crazy.
He's not really resting them.
I don't know what he's doing because the team's not winning. Like, do you remember that season where they were like on pace for like 70 wins or something?
Yeah.
And then they'd like just lost out at the end of the season because they didn't care about it.
Yeah.
They're on pace to
50 wins.
Like 50 wins. That doesn't feel like the champions that we just saw. And I'm not worried about it, but I do think like if y'all are going to play like this.
Yeah, like what's happening? Are you getting it figured out?
Like Brooklyn aren't playing like
Brook
this.
Lopez is out for the season.
Back issues, right?
Yeah, back.
Yeah, that sucks.
Another young guy with back issues.
They don't have a player to replace that. You know who they just picked up? DeMarcus Cousins.
Oh, I saw that. I'm so mad.
And I know you don't like Grayson Allen, but I'm not going to defend DeMarcus Cousins. I don't know why he was the go-to. I don't know why.
He tricked them.
He
played him his highlights from 2015, and he's like, "This is me. This is me yesterday." And they're like, "This looks like years ago." He's like, "Yesterday."
You just put a watermark on the bottom.
Yeah,
2021.
2021. And they're like, "DeMarcus, you haven't played for the Kings in a long time." I was like, "It was yesterday."
We were in scrimmage. We all just decided to wear these jerseys.
Yeah, it was fun.
And the fans came out to support me while I was practicing.
But DeMarcus, I can see me and I can see myself in the video. He's like, no,
deep faked.
To get you invested.
Just touching on deepfakes real quick. I watched a video the other day. Not an adult video, I promise. It was a YouTube video that was meant to have like a really good positive message about racial profiling. And then it was like this white cop handcuffs this black girl, and then it turns out the black girl is like the chief of the police department. That's her daughter. So he comes out, is like, "What you doing? Let go of my daughter," or whatnot. And the white cop's like, "Oh shit, I'm racist." But at the end of the video, the creator comes out and it was like, "Sorry this took so long. It didn't end up working, but our main black dude, we were trying to deepfake Denzel Washington into it." And then he showed a fucking clip and it looks so stupid.
I need to see this now.
I'll see if I can find it. But everyone's trying to deepfake things now. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Deepfaking Denzel.
Look, I wouldn't put it past DeMarcus Cousins.
DeMarcus Cousins. Yeah, look, Bucks suck. I don't know why.
They're going to get worse with DeMarcus. I'm going to tell you that.
For fuck's
Look,
sake.
I had DeMarcus. We gave DeMarcus a shot. And boy, I wish he didn't shoot at all. The boy can't shoot. He
like
can't
a
defend. He
big
can't
Isaiah
run. He can't
Thomas.
jump. What does that mean?
Just doesn't play and whinges. Why aren't I playing?
To be fair, I learned something really sad about Isaiah Thomas the other day.
Oh, go for it.
It's not sad. It's not him crying. But so he's playing basketball for like the US preliminary team.
Yeah.
To get into like the world championship thing, FIBA, whatever it's called. I don't care enough about it to know the actual wording. But he hit a game winner the other day.
Yeah.
Or hit a dagger or something, and that was hype. So he can obviously still play offense. And then people were like, "Oh, that's cool. What's going to happen with this team soon?" Because he's playing for the US team.
Yeah.
And we're playing against like Czech Republic or some shit. And people were like, "Oh, he's going to get cut." Because the way this system works is with the prelim team, the players here, you just have to be good enough to make it past the prelim, and then all the other guys come in, and they cut all the guys that got them there. And it was like, "Oh, do they get like a reward, a trophy, a medal or anything?" And like, no, they don't get anything.
Who comes in?
All just the other like US good basketball players. Like Isaiah Thomas is like the best player on the team.
Yeah.
So you know it's not a good team.
Yeah. But
It's horrible.
is this because I thought it was players who aren't playing professionally play this.
Pretty much. Well, like to get to the next stage. And that's the shitty thing. He's at the point where he's with the scrubs to get the US team to the next stage, and then they just get booted to the curb.
That's fucking weird.
And that sucks.
That sucks.
Seeing this guy work his ass off and knowing that he doesn't get a reward at all. He's just waiting for the actual good guys to come to finish the job.
That's bad.
That sucks. That just feels like the American healthcare system in a nutshell.
A little bit. But you got to remember, this guy's uber rich. This guy's ultra rich.
Oh, yeah.
There's
I
more
mean,
money
no,
than
like,
we'll ever have.
I don't care. At the end of the day, I'm broke. You know, I don't give a shit what happens to the rich.
Yeah.
But I was just like, because he hit the shot, I was like, hey, I'm your size. But then knowing that he don't get anything at the end of the day, I was like, oh, this sucks. So
And sometimes you just hoop to hoop.
yeah, but there's your Isaiah Thomas update for the week.
Yeah.
Tune in next week for another update.
Adam. You mentioned Adam a little bit ago.
No, I didn't.
You said Adam's name?
Oh, I did. Sorry, Adam. I'll send you another
Adam,
text
update of the week. Hello,
hey,
Adam.
Update of the week.
We're not going to talk about the Bucks anymore.
No,
I'm
boring.
excited for to see the awards at the end of the year. I'm excited to hear our predictions.
Yep.
But another team/game I wanted to talk about. It's going to go down in the history books. I'm sure everyone's seen it by now. It was Memphis Grizzlies versus Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
In a game where Ja Morant didn't play.
Yeah.
And Shea didn't play.
Yeah. I love this.
The Oklahoma City Thunder lost that game to the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies won by 73 points.
73 points.
They won by they didn't score 73. They won by 73. We used to watch games in like 2009 where a team would score 73.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine, right? We're watching Pistons versus Bucks in 2009. Pistons score 74, Bucks score 1 at the final result. That would be the same point difference.
Oh my god, it is.
Literally.
Oh my god, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite thing my previous favorite thing ever posted to Reddit was, I've told you about it, deep in the playoffs. It was really good. And then some random fucker on Reddit posts a video of Knicks versus Nuggets mid-season. Someone hits a layup.
2 years ago.
I love it. That's the funniest shit I've ever
Because
seen.
that's comedy.
And now this, I feel like it makes me laugh every time. Highlight. Draymond puts in the layup with the foul to cut the lead to 73 with 54 seconds remaining. To cut the lead to 73 with 54 seconds remaining. Someone posted that.
So here's what I love about that. Is that takes so much knowledge of the RNBA subreddit because they know exactly how the normal highlights are written. It's like cut the lead to 1 with 4 seconds to go. He knew. Oh, that's so good.
That's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Did you also see the top comment on either that or the thing? It's like Lou Dort now has an absolutely legendary plus minus of minus 54.
Yeah, I did see that. Minus 54.
Fuck.
Don't OKC hold 2 records now? Like,
Yeah,
2 of
they
the
have
worst
the
records?
largest home loss and the largest away
Oh
loss.
my gosh. Y'all suck.
Yeah.
Chris Paul really made you guys go to the playoffs.
Yeah. That just shows how good Chris Paul is.
I was looking at the roster.
But let's just point out this was a game where Ja Morant didn't play.
That's what I want to touch on. I was like, oh, how did Ja get 50? Oh, Ja's not here. When Ja's at home.
Ja's at home.
Like, what the fuck happened? Who's their coach? Billy Donovan?
No,
OKC?
no, he's coaching Chicago.
Oh, he's Chicago. Who's
OKC.
who the fuck? Because
the coach.
you best
Josh
be glad I
Giddey?
don't know Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey, OKC head coach. And if I know this man, who is this man?
Who is it?
I can't pronounce it.
Mark.
What's his surname? What's his surname, you fucker?
Diagonal. Mark Diagonal.
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 Diagonally.
Diagon Alley, yeah.
Diagonally.
Mark. Can't pronounce his name. His name's Mark.
Mark, man, what are you doing, buddy? What the fuck is going on?
Can you look up the box score for that game real quick?
Oh, hell yeah, I can, buddy.
Because, like, I was busy that day. So I opened up Reddit. I'm like, is this real? Like, is this April Fool's? 73-point loss?
Bro, the box score, 152 to 79. That's 2K numbers. That's when, like, your little brother comes, is like, oh, what are you playing? I'm like, oh, here, plug in the second controller. And you whoop him, you make him cry, and then he tells his mother.
That's what happened. Lou Dort cried and told Mark Diagonal.
Lou Dort was the top scorer for OKC with a whopping 15 points.
So bad.
Also had 2 assists, 1 rebound. Ty Jerome, 12 points. Trey Mann, 12 points. Don't forget, he had the other last 2 points in the last 54 seconds. So that was really, really good. Isaiah Roby, 11 points. They were the only players in double digit. Oh, no, sorry. Mike Muscala, 12 points.
Isaiah Roby.
Like,
This
God
feels like
damn.
last week when we were laughing about the Pelicans.
This team sucks. And I love Shea. But now I'm worried. Is this a Kemba situation? Where
No,
he just
Shea's
looks
talented.
really
Shea
freaking
Shea
good?
was good in LA.
I don't know. Like,
Shea's talented.
I don't know who Aldama is for Memphis, but he went off for 18 and 10.
What is his? Is his first name Al?
No, his surname's Aldama.
Oh, what's his first name?
S. Just says S. Dot. This is rap name. S. Dot. But like this man, you don't know his first name. I don't know his first name. His mother don't know his first name. And he is, if I put him on the OKC roster, he'd be the best player out of that night. Thunder suck.
I'd pay money to watch S. Dharma versus H. Jones 1-on-1.
But like, this is not like Dylan Brooks, 11 points. Trey Jones, 10 points. Concar, 17, 4 and 4.
Oh, Concar.
Yeah, great Concar. Xavier Tillman, 11. DeAnthony Melton, 19. Brandon Clark, 11. Jarrett Culver, 11. Like, a lot of these dudes which shouldn't be going off are going off.
Did you see the highlight of Concar with a dunk at the end?
Yes.
And then, he was clearly a foul and no one called it.
Did you see the...
So he just sat there.
Just quickly, that reminds me. The Killer Kev foul? Where he grabbed the jersey?
Did you see what he said on the interview? I've never found anyone in my life.
Never found anyone in my life.
I fucking love that.
Love you, Kev.
That's so good.
I love how he can tell a joke.
Yeah.
I love it. But boy, that officiating was not great. But yeah, so OKC, 2 worst records in NBA history. I read that like 5 times. I'm like, in history. In 2021, the OKC have made history in the worst possible way.
Yeah.
Losing by 74 fucking points.
Look, it wasn't great.
Oh my God. Like, where is it up from here? Because apparently the OKC picks aren't as great as what we thought.
They just have a lot of them.
A lot of mediocre picks.
You trade a lot of mediocre picks for better picks.
Okay, for better picks.
Yeah,
Okay.
so like a team that would have a good pick that wouldn't need it, like a contending team, you trade 2 late first round picks for like a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
Or like a top 5 pick.
Looking at this box score as well, there's no Shea, there's no Giddey. So you can understand where...
The 2 best players in OKC didn't play, and the best player in Memphis
like the
did
2 guys which get the offense flowing aren't there.
Yeah.
But then again, no
and they're
Ja
incredible
Morant.
when they play together. So.
Yeah. And no Ja Morant either, though. So,
Yeah.
like Jaren Jackson Jr., who also 0 fouls.
Yeah, that's incredible
0.
for the J-Star.
That is somehow like as phenomenal as losing by 73 points. But
It's like if
Triple
Mitchell
J's-
Robinson had 0 fouls and Grayson Allen had 0 fouls.
Right. Like, oh my gosh. So great for Memphis if you're Memphis. Top of
Isn't
the
it
West,
great
yeah.
for Memphis?
What, the fact he had 0 fouls and they just won by
I think
73
because
points?
they won by 73. Hey, look, if Nuggets won by 73, I'm like, I don't feel good about that.
I think it's...
It just feels dirty.
All right, elaborate before I get on my philosophical ramble. Why? Why does that make you feel dirty?
It's like, why even play the second half?
You sound like DJ Khaled at this point. Too much money. I feel sad.
No, but like, you know what I mean?
Too successful.
You don't
Suffering from
win
success.
twice because you win by 73.
No, but you just stomp on it. Like my feeling towards this, I think it's one thing if Ja Morant's in. You won by 73, whoop-de-doo. The fact that they did this without their franchise player and they make history with their second string guys and their other guys, Triple J is a great game, no fouls, shows to me, if I'm a member of that team and we just accomplish that,
That you can still do it without
we're
Ja?
real. We're real. Every person on this team matters.
What do you think Ja was thinking? Do I
Goddamn,
even need to come to work tomorrow?
Yeah, like, can I just call a sick day?
You just want to trade me? Like, you guys are fine.
Trade
Are
me.
Grizzlies better without Ja?
Goddamn. Or like, Ja requests a trade, he wants a challenge.
He wants to go to OKC? They want a 3-guard lineup again? Oi, don't tell me they wouldn't fucking run through people, considering 2 of their guards are 6'6" and 6'8".
What, with OKC?
Yeah. Ja, Shea, Giddey?
Ja's not 6'8".
I said two of their guards.
Oh,
Giddy's
two.
6'8".
Okay. Yeah, Giddy's a big boy.
Shay's 6'6" and Jar's 6.
Yeah, Jar's undersized.
And they're 3-point
crazy.
guards.
Yeah, that's... Do you feel like they're going to get another point guard in the draft?
What's Spengern? Albin? No, not Albin. That's the guy that's in the lead. That's the Rockets. What's that tall, lanky white guy that's going to go number 1?
I don't know.
The high school player who puts up the highlights. We talked about him a little bit last week. Mentioned his name.
Oh, I know the guy. I can't remember his name.
I keep thinking about Albin Spengern.
Why the fuck are you talking about Albin Spengern?
Once a week, he pops up in our NBA. Highlight, sick pass by the Spengster.
Oh, you know what's a Reddit user when it's sick pass?
That was like nice behind the back pass. And to be fair, it always is.
Oh, it was nice.
It always is.
Nice.
But what's the fucking Chet Holmgren?
Oh, Chet. Yes, that's it. Chet.
He's likely number 1 pick so far.
Right now.
And OKC are looking doo-doo.
Is Chet...
He's like a wing.
Is Chet the one that actually went to the college thing to get like all his measurements and all the stats that we love to see for these upcoming guys? And his wingspan shorter than his actual height. He doesn't have a good vertical in comparison.
I don't know.
I think it was him.
Yeah?
Because he was like regarded as like the guy that's going to come in and be the pick. And then it kind of backtracked a little bit because his stats...
His numbers are weird.
were not good.
Yeah.
Not great. Not good. Like,
Yeah.
there's a difference. Like, the fact that his apparent wingspan was smaller than his height, because usually it's the opposite of NBA players.
Yeah.
It goes the other way. Like, we're going to see... Can you imagine seeing that man against Mikal Bridges? Oh, my God. It's going to look like a T-Rex with Slender Man.
No, he's got a 7'6" wins.
Okay, it's another dude.
There must be another one.
It's another top prospect, which I've been following, and I've forgotten his name for the life of me.
No, it's not Chet.
All right, so Chet's still the shit. Okay, no, it's not
Chet's
Chet.
fine. It was some other one.
Chet's
Chet's
fine.
the fucking string bean. Big lanky can of piss.
Chet's such a suburban name.
Chet Holmgren.
That's such a suburban name.
Yeah.
Like, I could watch Frasier and I wouldn't be surprised. If,
Yeah. Oh,
Chet-
Frasier. This is Chet. Chet Holmgren. He's a radio host
from
out
Cincinnati.
in Massachusetts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but he makes me think of fucking Albert Spenger.
Oh my God. You know, I completely understand why you don't like me mentioning certain players because I'm so sick of hearing about Albert already.
You just wait every week. The weekly Spengern checkup.
Oh, he's going to be out of the league soon. So you got what? A couple.
What do you mean?
A couple more weeks left.
Future.
Spengern watch. It's Spengern watch.
I'm in my head. I'm like future MVP. No, future All Star. No, future
G League. Somehow
future starter. But yeah, we'll talk about the Rockets at some point this year.
Yeah, I do want to talk. I know it's not on your list.
Well, my list done. Went over all my notes. So, do you have anything to talk about?
I want to talk about Chicago for a little.
We'll talk about them briefly.
Holy crap, Caruso is fantastic. You know, he leads the league in steals, but playing under 30 minutes a game.
Yep.
That's stupid.
Yep.
No,
he's fucking incredible.
The impact he has on a team is insane. And he's getting better and better. And I freaking hate myself for letting him go.
The fucking bruiser squad of Lonzo and Caruso is untouchable on defense. They are fucking incredible.
Both LA
what
dudes.
sort of idiot teams would let them walk?
Le GM, Bron James.
Look, he doesn't control the money.
He controls what happens.
I'm pretty sure he would have wanted Caruso to stay.
You know when Caruso had that story where it was like, look, I went back to LA and I'm like, can you match this deal from Chicago? And I'm like, no, we can't do that. Can you do a little less? No, we can't do that. That's just a phone call with Bron. Bron, can you match this? No.
Out of his own pocket.
Alex, I can't, man. I'm sorry. I've got my eyes on J.R. Smith still. Stupid.
I want the homies.
Yeah. I want the Mud Squad back. Freaking Lance Stevenson, Dion Waite, fuck off. I don't like that Mud Squad shit. Bron's ruining me, man. Got me a chip, but at what cost? No one even counts it at this point. The amount of times I hear the freaking bubble chip and it's like, oh, does that even count?
Mickey Mouse ring.
Fucking hate that.
I hate that. Every chip's real.
Every chip's real. And the fact that we let Alex Caruso go, we let Lonzo go. Like, these are Alex Caruso being the most impactful player in the league right now.
Yeah. It's like him and the Mitten. Him and Gary Payton.
Gary
Jr.
Payton Jr. He's up there on the steals list as well.
Yeah.
Comes in, lets him off the leash. Damn, is killing it defensively. It's just so good to see.
Bulls are good.
DeRozan is such a killer.
Like, a lot of people didn't watch San Antonio when he was there. He evolved. He became a more well-rounded player, and now he's back showing it.
It's because he just played for San Antonio. No one likes to watch San Antonio.
100%. But he got so much better. He became a way better defender. He became a better passer, and he's a more well-rounded scorer now.
Do you see that freaking turnaround from the long to... Oh, my God.
Did you see Chris Paul's 360 no-scope?
I did.
What the fuck?
These two old dudes are going off.
It's ridiculous.
You're the old dudes.
I love it. I fucking love it.
Like, what year is it that we're now seeing Chris Paul and DeMar DeRozan kill it? Two of the best players in the
literally
league.
2011. We're back.
Oh, I'm so glad we're
Chris
back.
Paul's in a 360 no-scope. He's playing God. He's playing Warzone.
He's just playing with these
He's
boys.
literally like, I'm so bored. I'm going to show off.
Yeah.
He's making a montage.
Yeah, I mean, no loss November.
Yeah.
He can do what
I
he
want to
wants.
talk about Phoenix real quick.
Yeah.
We thought, okay, it was the big matchup. Everyone thinking Phoenix are on this ridiculous win streak going up against Golden State, probably the best team in the league right now. And Phoenix plays some of the best defense I've seen against Steph Curry.
Held Steph to his worst shooting night in history, right?
Yeah.
In a particular stat.
Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, Mikal jail is what they call it. Yeah.
Yep, put him in. Yeah, I like that. I like
Put
that.
him in Mikal jail.
Fuck. Phoenix
Insane.
are good.
The fact that they have post defenders, wing defenders, point guard defenders, scorers all around. This is scary.
And they got Chris Paul.
Yeah, like, this is scary. You've got the most intelligent player that I've ever seen in Chris Paul, who's still efficient, can still score, can still pass the ball, can still play defense, can still telepathically just do anything with his mind. We've got Devin Booker, who's still playing like Devin Booker. Mikal Jail is real.
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton's getting better now. It's scary. I haven't even mentioned all the other dudes. Like, this is a scary team. No loss November is unreal.
It's wild.
Unreal, dude.
How long can this streak go? What was the biggest? 31?
33.
33. I don't see him getting it, but I can see him getting
They're
it in the
halfway
20s.
there. They are halfway there.
Could do it. They really could do it.
Like, at this point, I don't see what team is going to beat this team. Unless, like...
It's going to take an off night.
It's either going to be an off night or, like, Chris Paul's out or Devin Booker's out or, like, they lose...
Well, it's...
You know, I don't know.
It's like when the old Houston squad with Chris Paul, when they were shooting hot, you're losing.
Yeah.
But when they're not shooting hot, when they have an off night, anyone can beat them.
You know what's going to frustrate the hell out of me? Is when they lose. Not if they lose. When they lose, because it's going to happen.
They have to. Imagine if they don't lose.
Oh,
no, they have
shit.
to. They have to.
Was that 79 and 3? Woo, shit. And then they lose the finals.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be so
round.
pissed off if they lose to a team like the Pelicans. Because you can't say, oh, are the Pelicans real? No. Like, I want them to lose against Chicago or something. So, like, oh, is
real
Chicago
team.
real?
Yeah.
You know?
To be fair, Denver just got stomped by Orlando. And they're not good right now. We just got smashed by Orlando.
Yeah. Look, it doesn't look good. No matter when you look back at it, it doesn't look good. I mean, we just got our ass kicked by Sacramento. Yeah, brother.
Life sucks.
You know what freaking sucks, right? If you're a Lakers fan. Two teams this year have faced the Lakers, demolished us in different ways, and then gone on the next night, and that team has got their ass kicked. Why do shit teams decide to show up against Lakers and make us look like shit?
Team sucks, brother.
But then they'll get whooped by Orlando. They'll get whooped by New Orleans.
Your team sucks, brother.
Bro, we suck.
Yeah, same.
You and I,
Yeah.
we're not going anywhere.
Why does Adam have the best team out of the three of us?
Adam, what the fuck?
What
How are the
happened?
Cavs?
You guys are rebuilding still, and you don't know what you're doing.
Both our teams are built to win a chip.
Yeah.
And we ain't even going to make the playoffs.
If neither of our teams make the playoff and Adam does, we're never hearing the end of it.
I'm not watching basketball anymore at that point.
Can you imagine if you have Russ, AD, and Westbrook and don't make the playoff?
Oh my gosh. To be fair, Westbrook has been really good.
Incredible.
He's more efficient than Damian Lillard so far.
Not hard.
Well, I mean, he's stepped it up.
Dame's gotten. He's getting there.
He's getting there, you know. One day he'll be an all-star. But no,
hot take?
Russell Westbrook's like 26, 9, and 9.
Yeah, he's playing incredible.
On like 58 true shooting percentage, which is good. He's playing
well.
Suck, though. But Anthony Davis, and I've said it to Adam recently, is if you watch Anthony Davis doesn't play winning basketball. He is not a number 1 option. He's a number 2 option.
Yeah.
Couldn't get jack shit done in New Orleans. Can't do jack shit without LeBron. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm very happy.
He plays winning basketball, but he's definitely not a number 1 option.
Yeah.
He
contributes to winning.
Yes.
But he ain't going to win
in
shit.
In the playoffs, when you guys did win the chip, he looked incredible. But
because of Bron, baby.
It's true. Bron does unlock him.
Yeah. I mean, he unlocks everyone.
Yeah.
You know, but, we can't rely on Anthony Davis. That's why I'm very happy we did get Russell Westbrook. I would have preferred us to kept Caruso and Lonzo Ball, you know, these guys which just make such a freaking impact and just help the flow of the offense and defense. But if we had to let them go, I'm glad we got Westbrook because I think Westbrook just kind of does everything as it's showing. He's contributing to the small amount of wins we get because Bron just isn't around. No. You know, 2 days away, 2 games or something with COVID, you know, and groin issues, which doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon.
No, it's only going to get worse from here.
He's 37 years old or something. You know, it's
both our teams suck.
It's rough.
And it is what it is. I just had a quick thought about Danny Green because he used to be on your team. Okay. When you think of Danny team, what team do you associate him with?
San Antonio.
Interesting. That should be the right answer. I associate him with Toronto.
I mean, 1 chip. Yeah, that makes sense.
But like, when I picture Danny Green, he's in a Toronto jersey.
Yeah, I forgot he played for Toronto.
I picture Kawhi in San Antonio.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Kawhi, and I know we've gone from topic to topic, but we've had a lot of crack.
Well, we're wrapping it up
before
soon,
this episode. It is the crack then.
Yeah.
But
meat pie crack.
Sounds stupid.
Crack pie.
Kawhi Leonard and Toronto just doesn't feel like it ever happened. It was 1 year of an absolute honeymoon for Toronto people.
Yeah.
But like, it's just like he doesn't care for it. He won a chip, bounced, and has signed an extension with Clippers. Happy with the Clippers, and it doesn't.
He doesn't like the cold.
I mean, he's
it's got to be right.
He's an LA kid, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just weird to me because I understand, you know, he doesn't want to play for Toronto, but like he won a chip, but only played 1 year there, and it's weird as like if you're a Toronto fan, that's your legacy is one player won you a chip for the most part and literally dipped.
Yeah,
and that's weird.
It is weird.
You know, I can understand if, you know, Kawhi Leonard there was like 3 years.
Yeah.
And on the 3rd year, he won the chip, or on the 1st year, and then
ran it back. And
mediocre other 2 years. But no, he was there 1 year, 1 chip, out.
Yeah, 1 year, finals MVP, played incredibly.
Yep.
Chip and dip.
Yeah, and that's just, I would hate to be a Toronto fan, and like, I've got to thank this dude for it.
I'd be fine with that.
I guess a chip's a chip.
Bro, I'm thanking Melo. He didn't do shit for us. I thank AI didn't do shit for us.
But the reason is because they played years and years for you guys.
Billups only played 3 years or something like that.
3 years.
I guess. Who played 1 year for us? Eduardo Najera?
You don't give a shit about him. Don't bring his name up. But like the fact that this man played 1 whole year.
I'd be more than happy with that.
It. No, that's fine. It's just like, at the end of the day, I'm going to look back at Kawhi Leonard's legacy, and the fans are going to look back at, you know, Toronto's legacy and Kawhi Leonard and like, oh yeah, he really just played 1 year for Toronto, won the chip.
It is weird. The longer it goes by, the more it's like, he really just showed up.
Yeah.
Won and left.
And now he's losing.
Yeah.
Like,
or not playing.
Yeah, he's straight up not playing right now.
The Clippers look
feel so bad for Paul George.
He's playing amazing.
He's playing so good, but boy, they suck.
They suck. I just want to, before we wrap up, Paul George looks fucking incredible.
This is the MVP. Paul
he
George
literally looks like a fully complete player. Mm-hmm. He's passing, he's scoring, his defense, he's being a team leader. He literally looks like a complete fucking player.
Yep.
But there's so many other things to look at in the league right now. He's getting overlooked.
Yeah.
I just want to... We don't like Paul George as a person, because I just need to shout him out. Paul, come on the pod sometime. You're playing really well. He watches this podcast.
If he sits down, I'm going to have to look like, hey, Paul, how you
doing?
He's so tall.
But we don't have a chair, so we just have him stand.
As soon as it was announced that Kawhi Leonard was out, no one gave a shit about the Clippers.
Yeah.
Which is unfair because Paul George is up there.
Yeah.
You know, he is I'd say a top 15 player in the league.
100%.
And he doesn't get the appreciation, probably because he keeps knocking up strippers and stuff and leaving them and creating a lot of baby mamas.
Yeah, he has like off-court stuff.
A lot of off-court shit. But he's a phenomenal player.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Phenomenal.
Incredible.
So shout out. That's the only shout out you're ever going to get, Paul George.
We shout him out like once every 6 months. Like,
All right,
hey,
once every-
we're like, hey, you're good at basketball.
You once every 6 months shout out.
That's it. We will wrap it up for this week unless you have anything else to talk about.
No.
Cool. We'll wrap it up. If you've made it through this far through the pod, thank you very, very much. Let us know what you think of the current setup. I really like it. It feels light, bright, daylight happiness. But yeah, thank you very much. We are on every streaming platform. We are on Spotify, Google Pod, Anchor Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, Breaker, Last FM, Nonstop Pop FM. That's putting me off.
I thought that was it.
We also do this as a video podcast. So if you're not watching us on YouTube, head on to YouTube and watch us at the Lowbot Podcast. Thank you very much, guys.
Just quickly, is this how you Millie rock?
I haven't heard of Millie rocking in a long time.
I'm pretty sure
and
this
I've
is
completely forgotten how to Millie rock.
I'm pretty sure
and I
this is
need a Millie rock instructor.
Can you imagine Mikal Bridges Millie rocking?
Yeah, because he's taking out
He's
people.
slapping everyone.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Who would win, Mike Tyson or Mikal Bridges doing the Millie rock? Let us know in the comments
Mike
below.
Tyson. Bye, guys. Bye.